Hi everyone and welcome to Real Life Talks. I'm your host Yvonne Heath, author of the book Love Your Life to Death and founder of the I Just Showed Up movement. I have a bracelet in here somewhere. I just showed up. Joining me today is the lovely Sue Kelly. Hello, Sue.
Hi, Yvonne. I'm excited to be here today.
We're both excited, I know. Sue and I go back several years now, and we've watched each other's journeys and supported each other's journeys, and I love everything that you do. And we're here to talk about being sexy after 60.
You got it, honey.
Yeah, that's right.
Indeed.
And look at us in our gorgeously matching outfits. Because we've still got it going on. And tell our audience, what is still sexy after 60? What does it all mean?
Well, back when I was approaching 60, I didn't like the idea of turning 60. It just sounded old.
Yes.
You know, I had no trouble turning 40 or 50, but 60?
60 just did
it to me. And I thought, it seemed unfair because it felt like society was saying they've stamped my forehead with the best before date. And I didn't feel like my life was over.
Exactly.
You know, I still had a lot of energy. I still felt I was relevant and I could make a difference. And yeah, man, I still felt sexy.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Well, it really, and we both know, feeling sexy is not about your chronological age.
Absolutely. No, not at all. I mean, and as we do age, I mean, we know we are. I wanted to change the conversation about getting old. Like it's the next great adventure. And upon retirement, everybody can kind of change it for themselves.
Yes.
And if you, in the past, if you woulda, coulda, shoulda, well, now's the time to do it.
Good.
Because the other sad reality is none of us know how long we have to live when that grim reaper will,
you're preaching to the choir now. You know that, right?
That's right,
yes.
Yvonne.
Yes.
So, you know, if you want to ensure that you've left a legacy or that your life mattered, then do it now.
Do it now.
Yes.
At any age.
At any age, of course.
Yes, but you are embracing retirement. You're reframing it, not saying, oh, you know, and haven't we all met women, or women are notorious for this. They get to a certain age and they turn frumpy and you're not supposed to wear color.
Oh my, hey, look at us.
Sorry, I don't even think
And what's that about blue jeans?
Oh, I know, I told you about that. I saw on Facebook somebody saying why women over 50 should not wear blue jeans. I don't think so. Yeah, thank you very much. We are sporting our heels, our blue jeans, our beautiful colors.
And today they've got them. Stretch jeans, every kind of style.
Yeah.
If you like them,
there is only one reason to not wear blue jeans after 50, because you don't want to. That is the only reason. And color, you know, you gave me this beautiful scarf and I had to wear it. I didn't know we were going to match so gorgeously today, but how fabulous. But, you know, having color in your life, and why do we have to reach a certain age and dress beige? I've never seen you in beige. Do you wear, right? But why do women sometimes feel that they are a certain age, they should behave a certain way or not have, look at your glasses. Your glasses are fabulous. You know, big rim. Yes. But why do we do that to ourselves?
And so, you know, what you're making me think about is, you know, back in the 60s with the first sexual revolution, we're children of the 60s. So we're, you know, 50 and 60, turning 60 and 70. And we disrupted society back then.
Yes.
Right? With our music, with fighting for what's right, with fighting for the environment, and sexual equality, women's rights, and gay rights. And now we're doing it again. It's never stopped.
No, we're still
never
doing
stopped.
it.
But now we are in our 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s can disrupt society again.
Absolutely.
And we're going to take risks. See, part of my book that I'm writing,
very
Still
exciting.
Sexy After 60, 7 Secrets to Finding Life's Sweet Spot, is about taking risks. And so what if it doesn't work out? Like let's, you know, the risks we took back in the 60s and let's do it again.
Sure.
And change what aging is all about.
Oh, I just love it. And here's the thing is, to me, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to be, there's no limit. You can recreate your life.
Exactly.
in any decade. I did it at age 50, right? Took a big leap of faith.
You did, Yvonne.
Yeah, became an author, TV host. Who knew that was going to happen? You left your
nursing career?
I did.
The security of having a paycheck.
It was very frightening, and it's wonderful. I met terrific people like you, who you were a nurse for many years as well, right?
Exactly.
Tell me about your nursing career and how did that shape what you're doing now?
Well, it's interesting because the bulk of my career was always in home care.
Okay.
But I trained at St. Michael's Hospital, and then I just wanted an adventure, so I took off to northern Manitoba, and I worked with Indigenous populations
when
there.
People want a great adventure, they go to northern Manitoba.
I know.
Is that... That's okay.
You know,
that sounds like an adventure. Yes.
Well, you know what? It was great because I met people from all over Canada and actually the United Kingdom, England and Australia, New Zealand, and I'm still really good friends with them today. But then it was really home care where I had the privilege of entering into people's homes and got to know people intimately on a level that others didn't. And I saw how sometimes it was the decisions people made that had detrimental effects, or it was the brave caregivers who were there 24/7 and supporting their loved ones on their health journey.
Right. Okay.
And then I got into palliative care.
Wow.
And I loved palliative care.
Yes.
And again, another synergy with you.
Absolutely. It's a privilege to be
really
a part of that journey in life and at end of life, and that's another thing we can reframe.
I know.
It's an honor, isn't it?
It is, indeed. And I really had a good time in palliative care, and people would think, "What, Sue?
What? You had a good time in palliative care?
Oh God, don't! It's too scary." But no, I really believed in helping people live with every time they had left.
Yes.
And having a sense of humor and telling jokes and
well, it's already serious enough.
Goodness,
isn't it? When we're facing end of life, and what you're talking about is living your life to the fullest in every decade and right till your last breath, right?
And true. And so I was just thinking about it because one of the chapters in my book is on relationships, and it's all kinds of different relationships. There's family, how family and coupling has changed, about LGBTQ2 relationships.
Yes.
But also if you're single and about online dating.
Sure.
So there's all the stories on that. But then we got into the last vigil and how on our lake that a cottager, actually a permanent resident, he was diagnosed at 53 with glioblastoma, one of the deadliest cancers there is.
At 53, my age.
53, okay.
Yeah.
But it was how the whole village came together. And we just showed up.
You just showed up.
We just showed up, Yvonne.
And isn't that beautiful, right? We don't always need a professional. You need professionals here and there, but you need your village, people who you love and who love you. How extraordinary. So you spent time, everyone spent time with them?
Yes, they did. And what in the end was that it was a legacy for the next generation. How to live even if you're dying.
Oh, that is
it really touched my heart.
Absolutely. And that's something that, again, when you look back and say we showed up for that person, and sometimes that's not easy. It's emotional. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, but that's okay. Just show up anyway, right? So on to a different subject, Sue, because you are creating change. So Still Sexy After 60 is your book, and you just completed the manuscript.
I did. I'm just so excited, and I'm getting it out there for the world and literary agents. Come on board.
That's right.
Fight to be my literary agent.
You really should.
And publish this book.
Still Sexy After 60. It's an important topic, and you also you have hosted 2 women's wellness conferences.
I did. So while I was writing the book, I had this idea about why not bring women together of a certain age.
Yes.
50s, there were those in their 40s because they knew they're going to get here eventually anyway.
Exactly. Prepare before you're facing it.
Exactly. Right into their 90s. And I just couldn't believe the overwhelming response. So we held our first one a couple of years ago.
In Gravenhurst, at the Opera House.
That's right, in Muskoka. And it was wonderful. And then the second year we did it again. And this year I'm not going to be doing it again because I needed to finish my manuscript. But what's interesting is I am going to be bringing it to the Greater Toronto area.
Awesome.
And so, stay tuned to my website because the events will be posted there. But the other way I want to bring it across Canada and North America is by licensing the program.
Okay.
So an organization, and often I'm talking with a hospice organization right now who's interested in me providing the template, all the national sponsors, which could be local sponsors as well.
Of course.
And all of the marketing plan, the save the date, the blogs, the announcements, the contracts for all the speakers. And I know what the success is. Have fabulous speakers with scientifically based knowledge, like accurate information. Surround people in like cashmere comforts of some really lovely place.
Yes, and give them bracelets.
And give them bracelets. Everybody got a bracelet.
Look at this gorgeous bracelet I got. I love my bracelet, yes.
And the second year, everybody, we wrap them with this beautiful scarf.
Yes.
We surprise them. Lots of surprises and lots of joy.
Yes.
And it was
and so
awesome.
that will, so you will continue that once your manuscript, but the thing is you provided information, but a sisterhood.
That's
and
right.
You pampered people and you gave them information. We laughed, we cried. Carol Bertuzzi.
Oh my goodness.
Hysterical. I actually felt like I had a workout. I was like, I just worked out because I was laughing so hard. I had the tears.
She's part of my magic template is having Carol.
She is magic. But the other thing, as I said, Sue, in our conversation, what would be an important topic? What would you like to talk about? And I read your email and say, can we talk about vaginas?
Oh my God, the V word.
What?
Your lady flowers.
So I did get permission because I thought, I don't know, but apparently we can because really, it is a part of our bodies, and we don't talk about it. So
nobody talks about it.
Sue, what do we need to know? What do we need to talk about vaginas?
Well, and it hadn't been brought forward in my mind that it was such an important topic.
Right.
Till I was writing my chapter on 60 Shades of Grey.
60 Shades.
60 Shades of Grey.
I love it.
And sex, love, and intimacy.
Sure.
And it's my best chapter. It's my longest chapter.
It's your juicy chapter.
Oh, it is. And my whole book has over 70 stories.
Wow.
70 real, authentic stories.
Beautiful.
But at any rate, as I was doing my research on this, and I mean, I've got a vagina too.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You do? Yeah.
I do. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do. And we never talk about it amongst ourselves.
No, we don't.
We don't talk about it with our doctor, really.
No, actually.
So we just don't.
And how often does the doctor say, and so Yvonne, how's your vagina today?
No, so far, not. I'm O for O.
Oh, for O.
I don't think.
But we don't even talk to our girlfriends.
We don't.
We don't. And as mothers, we don't talk to our daughters.
No,
and I'm,
really.
A guilty yes. Yes, but so there's a natural aging that happens to our vaginas, the whole area down there.
Yes.
And it's the mucosa, the lining of the vagina becomes not as thick.
Yeah.
It becomes drier and it shrinks, and it can be very, very painful for women.
Right.
I mean, a lot happens to that little canal.
Right.
It was the birth canal, it's the canal of love, it's the canal now.
Yes.
And
the canal of love, okay. Sorry, I've never called it that, but yes, the canal of love, yes. But no, you're right, and so that's a natural occurrence.
It is, and after the conference, there was a woman who came up to me, and she said, "Oh, Sue, I need your help." She said, "I got dry snatch." I said, "Okay, you bet your sweet bippy, I'm going to be helping you."
Yes.
So we met, and I introduced to her sort of a little template, an app, if you want to call it in my book.
Okay.
APIE, A-P-I-E.
Okay.
And as a nurse, you would understand, assess, plan, implement, and evaluate. So I implemented this APIE with her. And so she had been to the doctor, and the doctor had said, yes, you've got atrophic vaginitis.
Wow.
It's also called vulvovaginal atrophy.
My goodness.
It's also called genital urinary syndrome of menopause.
Wow.
Like, who knew all that was going down there? No wonder you
Yes.
can't find the G-spot with all that happening down there. Goodness gracious.
Yes.
So, at any rate, he could hardly get the speculum in.
Oh,
So, and it was like the
terrible.
tissues are rubbing, and it's very, very painful. She had lost her husband 10 years earlier, and actually had not been interested in finding another man until just recently. She was, missed the companionship, and she was a little bit horny.
Oh, yes.
Is that word allowed?
I have no idea.
But anyway, we'll find out.
Yes.
And so she had done her assessment. She'd gone to the doctor, first of all.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's important. Because
Absolutely.
if the doctor's going to prescribe any medication, he has to know. And what he did prescribe for her was an estrogen patch.
Okay.
And you've got to know that you do not have a family history of breast cancer, uterine cancer, you don't smoke, there aren't blood clots. So
yeah, there's pros and cons, but there's things you can do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And so I brought my little bag of tricks. And I had vibrators in different sizes.
She gave everybody a vibrator at the conference.
That was our Oprah moment.
Oh, you should have seen everyone's face. Like deer in the headlights.
Everybody's going to get one. You're going to get one, and you're going to get one.
Oh, it was fantastic.
So was that people, you missed me over here.
Oh, geez. But your whole point is there are things you can do. You don't have to just suffer in silence, right?
No, and it's a wonderful vaginal moisturizer, and normally I never mention a product.
Okay.
Ever. But this is the only product as a vaginal moisturizer that's been recommended by the Canadian Society of Obstetricians and Gynecologists.
Okay.
It's called Gynatrof.
Okay.
And it's just a little, you just fill up a little applicator and you insert it into the vagina. And 7 nights the first week, and then just twice a week after that. What's beautiful about it is that it's natural ingredients. High hyaluronic acid, vitamin E, and our body already makes them. It's part of our skin.
Right.
So actually I'm doing that twice a week now.
Well, good for you, Sue.
I'm lubricating my vagina and my vulva. That's the outside area. The vulva's the outside area.
Yeah.
Some people think the whole thing's the vagina. No.
Yeah, I know.
You got the outer lips, the inner lips.
There's all kinds of stuff.
And then you've got,
So the point is we can do something, and aging, there's a natural part of aging that we can't stop that, but we can do things about it. And, allowing yourself to just suffer in silence is silly, and we need to have these conversations.
And I want to start the vagina dialogues.
There you go.
Yes, let's start talking.
Absolutely. Well, I feel like we've talked about them. Vagina is quite a bit now.
Okay.
I think we're good. But what else, when you talk about feeling still sexy after 60, it's about not letting your spirit get old, right? And tell me what else women can do. And
well, it's about the body, mind, and spirit.
Right.
So that is throughout the entire book.
Yes.
My first chapter is on the body. And so first of all, it's being as healthy as you can be.
Oh,
really?
Yes,
and
100%.
And look what's in your gene pool, because that's a clue to what your life could be like. It's just smart.
That's an important one. Yeah, we don't often think about.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I mean, it's boring, but it's weight and diet and being active. If you don't lose it, if you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Right.
So it's some of that. So that's in the chapter on the body. And then the mind. The brain is a very, very interesting chapter. There's so much about our feelings and emotions and thoughts and mindfulness. What is mindfulness?
People talk about mindfulness a lot, but what is mindfulness?
Well, it's really just being in the moment.
Yes.
Totally focusing in on concentrating on whatever it is that you're doing. If you're talking with someone, yet you are totally engaged. You're not thinking about your grocery list or I've got to get going here.
What's the next thing I need to do? And then you're doing that, and then you're thinking of the next thing you need to do. We're all guilty of that.
Yeah,
but
totally.
It really does cause like a chronic stress in your body, doesn't it?
You know what? That's a good point. Yeah. Yes. It's just allowing yourself that time with that in that moment. And meditation is another wonderful strategy to help relax the spirit and focus in on what's really important. And some people will plan their day so that maybe it's first thing in the morning or just at bedtime, but whatever. So there's parts about that in
the book as well.
Yeah.
And you have a website, and you have information on your website as well, right? And
yes.
So what I see that Still Sexy After 60 is a community, and you are building this, and there'll be more and more information, because I know at the first conference there was a woman talking about brain health.
Oh yes, that was Lynn Poslin's from the Women's Brain Health Initiative.
It was extraordinary.
Fascinating. So if you take care of your heart, you take care of your brain. And did you know that 70% of those living with Alzheimer's are women?
70%.
70%. So why is that?
I didn't know it was that high.
So it's a great organization.
Yeah. So it is truly about being informed. But really, the greatest thing, the greatest message is self-care. you know, sometimes people, it's a buzzword, oh yes, yes, self-care, but women are notoriously poor self-caregivers. Do you find that?
No. I mean, absolutely.
Yes.
And the best thing we can do for ourselves is put ourselves first, take care of ourselves, and then we're able to be mindful and totally giving to the other person. Because if you don't, you could have a crisis of person, you could have a breakdown or dealing with health issues, and then you're no good to anyone.
Well, I always tell people, and that's, you know, I have 7 takeaways in my presentation, and takeaway number 4 is show up for yourself first. And if you do not, eventually you will break down mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. How do I know? Ask me. In 30 years of nursing, how many stories have we
seen? Yeah.
Yes. And
indeed.
The sad thing is, sorry, a lot of it's preventable. Right?
That is what the good news is here. Yes.
There you go.
You can prevent a lot of downstream problems by just paying attention to yourself.
Yes. Well, I love everything you're doing. And so tell me some of the really feel-good moments. I mean, besides this woman who came up to you at the conference and you talked about, you know, her dry vagina. What other good stories do you have that women...
Well, I recall one woman being in a side hall outside of the Opera House, and she was crying.
Oh.
And she was in her 70s, and she said, I finally have a reason to live. Wasn't that sad? That she needed someone or something to make her feel relevant, and that she wanted to re-energize her life and find a purpose. The other part of that whole thing is, what is your purpose in life?
Sure.
And that can change, but having a goal and a passion, linking into that passion, is huge.
Oh, that is we need a whole other show for that, because, you know, when that really choked me up. That made me feel sad that she, you know, because so much of the time we feel like, well, I have value and I matter because I'm a wife. I have value and I matter because I'm a mother. And, you know, you have value and you matter because you exist.
Just because you exist, yes.
This is what you know, the message for kids, teens, seniors. And it's not about your age. You know, you don't have value and you matter more because you're young. You just have value. And to me, the greatest gift you are to the world is the very best version of yourself. Right?
Beautiful.
And the other thing is that maybe in your 50s, 60s, 70s, and so on, the activities that you are able to do to keep yourself healthy have changed, right? Maybe you can't do a 10K marathon, which I have never been able to do. But what can you do?
Exactly, because chronic illness sneaks in. Painful joints, living with a chronic health problem is part of aging. Sadly, at any age, but it's more so for sure. And so it's living with that chronic illness and not making it your whole focus, but you know, following, you know, doctor's instructions, taking medication as prescribed, keeping active. Maybe you need a support group. You know, surrounding yourself with people who care, and still following your dreams. You can still follow your dreams.
You can, and no matter what you are facing, there is somebody out there somewhere that cares and that would be willing to just show up for you. If it's not your family, if it's, you know, like I said, a support group or someone, but be okay to reach out as well. We're very notoriously, oh, I'm okay, you know, I don't need any help.
Yes, aren't we?
And that's another thing we really need to change. It's like, yeah, I need some help.
Yeah,
how
just
about
say
lasagna? Can you make me a lasagna? Like,
yes.
Be okay, you know. Again, I think women often really pride themselves on, you know, holding it all together and I don't need any help. And, you know, let's be okay with being sexy and colorful and pampering ourselves and putting ourselves first, because we are also being a very great example to others.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And to the next generation.
To the next generation.
It's a legacy to how they can live and enjoy aging as well.
Absolutely. So what keeps you so sexy? Because you are, Sue, I have to tell you, you are one sexy woman. What keeps you sexy? Besides, you know, I mean, you've got beautiful hair, fabulous glasses like the exterior, but what keeps you sexy on the inside?
Well, you know, first of all, relationships. I guess I've got a fabulous husband.
Yes,
my husband, Paul.
He's very cute.
He is easy on the eyes, but he's just like the wind beneath my wings. And
that's so
I mean,
wonderful.
if you can, you know, enhance any relationship I think that's really important. And if you are single, it's having wonderful friends.
Yes.
And having that passion, following your passion. And what is that? And following it, because the self-satisfaction is enormous.
Yes, it's so true. And so you foresee bringing Still Sexy After 60 with your book, conferences, and sharing it with the world.
I hope so. That's the plan, Yvonne.
That is the plan. Well, it's an extraordinary plan, and women everywhere will benefit. And you know, I think that even just reading a chapter or attending a conference, it just gives you that aha moment. And the biggest thing is, you're not alone in this.
Yes, indeed.
Right?
There's a lot of us.
There's a lot. Well, yeah. I mean, there's baby boomers, and like there's thousands and thousands and thousands, and you know, we've been to the circus, we've been through stuff in life, and
lots of stuff
in life, and you know, a lot of good and some not so good, but you know, you're still
It's not a life sentence. The past is not a life sentence. Just learn from it.
There you go.
And then carry on.
And those are just such wise words, because if we let the past define us, right? Because of course with every decade we have that much more that we've been through, good and some not so good. But if we let that define us, then we can we can suffer excessively and ruin what can be. It can be the greatest part of your life.
It's the next great adventure.
It is the next great adventure, and you are absolute proof of that. And I cannot wait to read your book. It's going to be so extraordinary.
Well, thank you.
And I know the conferences will keep happening because women are going to demand it. I'm demanding it.
So.
I'm saying, Sue, I absolutely need these conferences. I can't wait. I'm going to go to the next one. And
well, you'll be a speaker at my next one for sure.
Absolutely.
Again.
How
Yes.
fun.
Yes,
so
girlfriend.
I have to thank you for everything that you're doing. You are still fabulously.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yes. Still sexy after 60. For sure. Absolutely. And keep those jeans on. Thank you very much. Absolutely. Right?
You
I mean,
bet.
please don't tell me not to wear jeans ever. Yeah. So thanks again, Sue.
Welcome.
So thanks for joining us today. Real Life Talks is about just showing up for yourself and others, and sometimes having hard conversations or talking about things we don't normally talk about. And that's okay. So my call to action, if you want to be empowered and resilient, you need to plan your life, plan your death, and then just love your life to death. And always, right over here, bring your own tambourine to the party. Thanks. Bye for now.